Hello YouTube, Never-Ending Student here. I have an ongoing project on the ever-changing bench, because change is the only constant. There's always something coming through in the pipeline, and this is a minor but important one, especially as I get into servicing voltage references and things like the ongoing Keithley 2001 repair. The more sensitive the item is, especially in terms of it having voltage references in it, ESD precautions become more and more necessary. So I'm basically implementing grounding on all my devices. I already have the ESD mat. It serves really well. But what I didn't have is a common ground rail for the bench with every single device grounded to common rail and grounded to earth ground via basically the grounding plug in the wall jack. It might be better if I could drive in my own grounding rod and feed through a wire there, but this will suffice. Now, you may see these on eBay, Amazon, AliExpress. Important crap product tip. Now, that's usable, but not as it comes. You have to do some changing. So that's what I got. And, you see the snap connectors there and a couple of banana jacks. And, what you see is what you get, right? Well, not exactly. And someone else has covered this as well, but I figure if even one person who's going to be using this product sees this, I've done a public service. So if you take off the cover that goes behind it, well, for one thing, that's a real shit connection. It's like holding on by just a couple strands. You can see it's all burned to shit, and it's basically about to fall off. Other than that, you notice there's no connection between here and here. And it's not even as if you could count this powder-coated metal as if they'd maybe, ground it down, because there's insulating spacers there on both sides. And I verified with my multimeter on resistance mode that, yeah, there's checks as infinite resistance between A and B. So these are not grounded. You can still use this. Like this, it's okay, it's not as shit as I thought, because I expected it to kind of fall off right there. I'm going to take a little bit of just bare copper lead repair wire, or maybe something a little bit thicker, and I'm going to bridge and solder these connections into here. And then I'm going to take this. I don't like this type of connection at all. I'm going to strip this. I'm going to just put a little crimp connector on there, secure it really well as I do, and screw it onto there. And then it'll be a solid mechanical connection that doesn't have this weakness. Then all four connectors will be properly connected to this lead wire here, and we can use it as my front connector. So that's the PSA for this product. Super cheap, not really usable for these connectors at all if you buy it. It is usable for these, but I encourage you to just redo this connection to something more mechanically stable and more certain, because it's like as it came, more have broken off in the meantime, but yeah, a lot of the copper strands are just snapped off, and it's not well connected, so bad QC. But it was like $1, so this is reasonable for the price. You get it. It's basically that you've received the parts, and They've come badly pre-assembled, but if you have the willingness to put in a little time and DIY, it can be made perfectly functional. After that, I have like 6 of these. So my plan was to screw these in under the bench, one under each side, underneath the table, then underneath so on each corner underneath the table, on each corner underneath the first shelf, and on each corner underneath the second shelf. Bridge them all together so they're all a common ground rail, and then use all of those connections to give every single piece of equipment a solid ground connection. Cheers.